And it is a massive row to have hit the test series. According to an ECB release, Team India have filed a complaint against James Anderson over physical assault made on Ravindra Jadeja. Now, the information that we're getting currently is that England fast bowler James Anderson has been charged under level 3 of the ICC Code of Conduct for allegedly abusing and pushing Ravindra Jadeja on the second day of the first test at Trent Bridge. Now, the complaint was not brought by the umpires but the Indian team manager. Now, we understand that the ECB has also reacted with surprise that India had reported Anderson for what they described as a minor incident in a press release, but are in fact pressing charges of their own. Now, the ECB notified its intention of lodging a complaint against Jadeja as well in this press release, citing that James Anderson in fact categorically denies these accusations made against him. And the ECB has pledged their total support for the player should he in fact be charged. Now, the ICC in fact has come out and said that the incident allegedly took place after the players left the field for lunch on the second day, and that it was reportedly a continuation of a verbal altercation between Anderson and Jadeja as they were walking off. We got all these updates from our consulting editor sports, Ravindra Jadeja, who's been tracking the story very closely. Remember, he's in London. We will be trying connecting with him in just a moment. But this is a major controversy to hit the series. James Anderson, we understand, may be banned from 2 tests or more if in fact he is found guilty. Remember, these are just charges, but level 3 charges are referred to a judicial commissioner for adjudication, and they are required under certain articles of the ICC Code of Conduct. They will be appointing a judicial commissioner who will be holding a hearing as soon as reasonably practical, and these details will be announced in due course. We are in fact waiting on these details, but we understand that level 3 breaches carry a penalty of between 4 and 8 suspension points. So 2 suspension points meaning or equating to a ban of 1 test or 2 ODIs, depending on which type of match is scheduled next for the suspended player. This is a major controversy to hit the series, remember, and Boria also in fact telling us earlier that Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Duncan Fletcher in fact adamant that these charges be pressed against James Anderson, that they were not willing to let up. They were going to pursue this relentlessly, but the ECB reacting with surprise, but also making it very, very clear that they will be pressing charges of their own. James Anderson in the press release categorically denying the accusations made against him, and the ECB pledging their total support for the player should in fact he be charged. Now, we understand this is a massive controversy that has hit the test series. England fast bowler James Anderson charged under level 3 of the ICC Code of Conduct. This is not a minor charge. This is a huge charge, a massive controversy. Dhoni and Fletcher determined to press charges against the England fast bowler, and the complaint was not brought by the umpires but by the Indian team manager. Now, they in fact, the charges that have been levelled against James Anderson are of level 3 and are of allegedly abusing and pushing Ravindra Jadeja. Remember, earlier released, there was in fact a report of a racial abuse, but Boria Majumdar clarifying that this is going to be on the basis of physical abuse, abusing and pushing Ravindra Jadeja. Remember, this is in fact an incident that took place after the players left the field for lunch on the second day, and it was reportedly a continuation of a verbal altercation, a spat that was already taking place between Anderson and Jadeja as they were in fact walking off.
They got 28 overs in that second, 83 for 1 over, slightly slower. But India go back.
This is a massive controversy. Remember, to hit the test series, the ECB and ICC, the knives are drawn, the battle lines in fact drawn, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni refusing to in fact back down, and likewise Duncan Fletcher as well. India filing a complaint with the ICC, Team India refusing to actually let up, but the ECB too notifying the ICC of the complaint, and the ECB also making it very, very clear that James Anderson has denied these accusations and has also dismissed this incident as a minor incident. However, at the same time, they have also said that they have notified their intention of lodging a complaint against Jadeja as well. A retaliation to Team India's complaint that in fact has been lodged with the ICC for abusing and pushing Ravindra Jadeja on the second day of the first Investec test at Trent Bridge. Now, the complaint was not brought by the umpires but the Indian team manager Sunil Dev. We understand that the ECB was taken aback. They've reacted with surprise that India had in fact reported Anderson for what they described as a minor incident. But we do know that Mahendra Singh Dhoni, team captain, and Duncan Fletcher are extremely adamant that these charges be pressed, that the matter be pursued. And James Anderson coming out and categorically denying these accusations made against him, and the ECB has pledged their total support for the player. But this incident in fact taking place in Team India in fact refusing to back down. Our consulting editor Boria Majumdar is still with us, now joining us live on the story. Boria, we understand that India has in fact filed this complaint with the ICC. You were telling us earlier that this is not a minor charge. This is level 3. So it can amount to a ban on 1 or 2 matches for James Anderson.
Not 1, 2 test matches or 4 one-days or something like that. I mean, it is a very, very serious charge. Level 3 means, it is the sort of the highest charge in cricket almost. I mean, not 1 or 2, but level 3. So the Indians have taken it to a completely different level. They are treating it at a much more serious level than ordinarily, a minor altercation is taken to. So make no mistake about it that this is very, very serious. On the other hand, the ECB is banking on the fact that over the next 24 hours, the hearing cannot be conducted because the ICC will have to appoint a judicial commissioner. So they are banking on the fact that James Anderson will be able to play at Lord's, maybe between the Lord's test and the Southampton test match, which is between the 22nd and the 27th of July. The hearing will be conducted, so based on who the ICC appoints as judicial commissioner. That we will have to wait and see. But for the moment, if you just see, I mean, Michael Vaughan, the former England captain, has come out on Twitter and said that this is pathetic. He has used the word pathetic, that, he's basically calling the Indians pathetic, that why didn't the Indians raise this issue on that day itself? Now, for Michael Vaughan, the issue was actually raised on that day. The Indians testified on that day. Gautam Gambhir and Ravichandran Ashwin testified on that day. It is only the England and Wales Cricket Board and the ICC that they have issued the media release today. So it is not as if the Indians have let it sweep under the cover. It's a very serious matter. But as you can see already, both sides are showing clear signs of polarization. Michael Vaughan on the one side taking James Anderson's side, and on the other hand, the Indians led by the skipper and the coach. The series is no longer going to be played in any sense of harmony or camaraderie. This is actually the grudge series. This is becoming ugly, and as the match starts day after tomorrow, all day tomorrow, I can tell you from now, Sanjana, all day tomorrow will be about this. Nothing about the match. So as the pre-match, post press conference happens, most of the questions will be about this. So very, very interesting 24 hours coming up.
Absolutely, Boria. And again, for our viewers, we understand that Team India is in fact pressing charges of James Anderson allegedly abusing and pushing Jadeja. But if you can actually just give us a highlight or a recap as to what exactly happened post the match during the lunch. We understand that it was a verbal altercation that started on field but continued off it as well.
You're right. I'll just sort of break it down for our viewers. It started when Ravindra Jadeja was batting. At that point in time, England was going for a win. India had lost a few wickets. Ravindra Jadeja was batting along with Stuart Binney immediately before lunch, and that partnership actually saved India the match at Trent Bridge, if you remember.
Right.
James Anderson was coming to an end of his spell, and that's when the altercation started, when he failed to get the wicket of Ravindra Jadeja. And then this banter continued into the luncheon interval when James Anderson allegedly pushed and physically assaulted Ravindra Jadeja as the Indians were walking out of the park. And that is what the Indians have taken very seriously, that physical contact has no place on the field of play. I mean, he has brought the game of cricket into disrepute, and they have filed a level 3 charge against James Anderson of physical assault. The ICC has taken heed of the charge and have charged him, James Anderson, of physical assault, and they have said that they will appoint a judicial commissioner. The ECB has been taken completely by surprise. Their media release said that it's a racial abuse charge, which is not the case. It is a physical assault charge. So the ECB will now perhaps retaliate, saying Ravindra Jadeja too was involved in verbal abuse, but it might be looked upon as a retaliatory measure. All said and done, this is now going to hog the limelight over the next couple of days. And as you can imagine, there will be a lot of ill will come the start of play at Lord's day after tomorrow.
But what is surprising, Boria, is that although the ECB reacted with this surprise and dismissed this incident as minor, they have categorically stated that they will launch a counter complaint against Ravindra Jadeja as well.
Yeah, the idea is this, that, they thought that this was a minor offense which was sorted out on the field of play itself. So there was no reason to press charges. But the fact that the Indians have gone ahead and pressed charges prompted the ECB to react as well. That is why they are saying they will also press charges against Ravindra Jadeja for breach of conduct, maybe verbal abuse. They will say that it was just a thing on the field of play, but now that the Indians have pressed charges, they will do their own. But that might be looked upon as a retrospective act by the ECB. I mean, they have clearly been thrown off gear. And what I understand is that the Indian board may not have been that keen. Who was keen was the captain and the coach, because, there are far bigger equations involved. Do not forget that India and the England Cricket Board now dominate the ICC. They are the big three, or part of the big three. So it was not in BCCI's interest to sort of take this matter further with the ECB. But clearly, Captain Dhoni and Coach Duncan Fletcher have raised the alarm, and the Indian team management has gone ahead. So it is very, very significant that, within 48 hours, the matter has come to this. The Indian team management is trying to be tight-lipped, but make no mistake, this is the central story as far as the series is concerned.
Right, Boria, you were mentioning something about around the date of 27th of July where Judicial Commission will in fact be appointed. But if you can actually highlight once again about the kind of timeline that we're looking at, considering that the series is, the matches have already, the test has already begun. And, the matches will in fact be beginning by day after is what we're expecting. So we can't have, players sort of falling off and off on the grid with controversies like this hitting the series. So what kind of timeline are we looking at? How soon do we see this matter being resolved?
See, from what I understand, and here it is conjecture, having seen international cricket for close to 2 decades, and the matter that comes to mind is definitely the Monkey Gate controversy in Australia in 2008. Right. If you remember then, the matter against Harbhajan Singh was pressed during the Sydney Test match in January. Harbhajan Singh was, the hearing happened, but he appealed against the hearing, so he was allowed to play at Perth and Adelaide, and only then was the matter finally resolved. Here what I understand is this, that the Lord's Test will be starting day after tomorrow. Obviously, the Judicial Commissioner will not be able to adjudicate on the matter before that. So the Lord's Test match will go on. James Anderson will play. But after Lord's, 21st is when Lord's ends. Between 22nd of July and 26th of July, the 5-day window before the third test on 27th, I understand that between 22nd and 26th, the ICC will want to adjudicate this matter because they cannot let it to rest. Physical assault is a very, very serious charge, and the ICC cannot let it to rest for too long.
Boria Majumdar, a consulting editor, bringing us that update from London. Remember, this is as a massive controversy has in fact hit the series. An England pacer in trouble, James Anderson. This is as Team India is relentless and adamant to press charges. This is after he allegedly abused and pushed Ravindra Jadeja. And we understand that the ECB too refusing to back down, although they have dismissed the incident as minor, but claim that they will categorically launch a complaint against Ravindra Jadeja.